What up, y'all? It's your man Sam Ant here at Viral Hip Hop News. Appreciate y'all for joining and tuning into this episode. Gonna drop a throwback interview with our guy Trick Trick. Did this interview a couple years ago, man, and man, oh man, where time has gone, where interviews have gone, where content has gone the last few years. Maybe I'm in the minority when I'm about to say this. Y'all let me know, but hip hop news and hip hop content in 2025 is ass. It's ass. The quality of interview as of late from people have been ass. The content itself, the hip hop news and the stories people are talking about, it's just been ass. Let's just be honest with you. And I would love to change that. We've done a lot in this hip hop genre. We've done a lot in this hip hop game to kind of do certain things to move the needle. I humbly say that, and I hope that we can be the pulse or help assist in getting hip hop content back to where it was, getting interviews back to where it was, good quality, dope ass content. Of course, you get your medicine or you get your candy, I should say, and some of the drama and the bullshit, but you get a ton of medicine and a ton of gold, a ton of food, and good quality interviews, man. So I'm gonna drop a series of throwback interviews throughout the month of May. Do like a throwback series where we just have various interviews where we may have dropped clips throughout our time, but never gave y'all the full interview in its entirety. And we're going to start off today with our guy Trick Trick. We did this interview, like I said, about 2022. Hope you guys enjoy. It's about an hour and 11 minutes long. So you guys are about to get some gems, unedited, uncut, full, raw, right here at y'all doorstep. And I sincerely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you want me to do more throwback interviews throughout the month of May. We're definitely going to get this going. And if you want to be a guest on Viral Hip Hop News, I do an artist spotlight. Whether you have a business, whether you have music, whatever it is that you want to promote here on the platform, email me. See it below. dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. dlsmediainc1 at gmail.com. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be interviewed live by me, Sam Ant, holla at me. Without further ado, enjoy Throwback Series. First episode, Trick Trick. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother, Old Guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored. And sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam Ant, Viral Hip Hop News. Like my cousin said, man, we're in the building for a very special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Oh, God, we got a special guest in the building. We got Detroit OG.
Yeah.
We got royalty on the podcast, man. Trick Tricks on the podcast. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, cuz? All right.
Good, brother. Happy to be here, man. Happy to have you on the podcast. Hip Hop. Nah, no doubt. Hip Hop Uncovered on FX dropping soon, man. We've seen the trailer. Shit looks dope. Can't wait to see your episode, man. Happy to have you on. So how you feeling, man? How's everything coming in 2021 for you?
Man, 2021 started off with a bang for me, like amazingly beautiful. No, zero complaints. Just I'm a person that like forward movement. You know what I mean? Like moving ahead and getting shit done. So, when it came in with a bang, like, hey, let's go. We've been working 2020 like a slave, just going, despite all of the shit that was going on. We still managed to keep a very extensive amount of work around these offices. So
great thing.
Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good.
Can you talk to us about Hip Hop Uncovered? Tell the audience about a little bit about what it is and what it takes to put it together.
Hip Hop Uncovered is a docuseries executive produced by Big U, which is my big brother, and Jim Bob, one of the OGs from Compton. Him and Big U, the executive producers together. So they were going to do a show about managers, and then they, changed directions and went into the direction of interviewing some of hip hop's most, serious power brokers, those of us who make things happen behind the scenes and, make those phone calls and carrying on to get, to make things happen. So when Big U called me and said that that's what they was doing, I said, but let me know when. Let me know when you're ready. And I'm ready. And, working. The time came. It was time to rock and roll. Before you know it, the film crew was there. I was in LA shooting, and, we spent about a year because we shot in Detroit, Atlanta, LA, Dominican Republic, and I'm sure that I believe they did some stuff in New York. I didn't go to New York, but I mean, and then shit, like I say, you keep moving forward. Eventually, you're gonna make it the way you're going to, and here we are. FX it airs on FX Friday. Well, the first episode premiered this past Friday.
Yeah.
On FX at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and of course the second one. And so they run it episode 1 and episode 2, one after another.
Okay.
Immediately after episode 1 airs, episode 2 airs, and you can stream each episode after the broadcast. So
that's Hulu, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, on Hulu or FX.
Okay, cool.
App. So like I say, shit. Eventually, it came that time. It came where here we are, and it's here. The premise of the docuseries is, like I say, the coverage of behind people who make shit happen behind the scenes, and they did some. Gab Rashidi Harper, who's the director, him and Malcolm, they had it set up to ask the questions that they needed to ask to get what they needed as far as information was concerned, that was needed but they got hours and hours and hours of footage that they had to combine into 6 episodes. So,
right.
And it's very interesting because I'm watching it. I'm learning not just a lot of stuff about the other people on there, because it consists of Big U, Deb Atney, who's serious power broker out of Atlanta, well, out of New York / Atlanta. Her brother Bimmy Atney, and Haitian Jack, and myself. So, and what I love about the documentary or the docuseries is that it don't take, like, episode 1 is not about Trick Trick, or episode 2 is not about Big U. It's like each episode is about a specific time in hip hop, hip hop timelines, 1979 to present, and what was going on in our lives during that time, during those times on this, timetable, the scale that they have, and what was going on in our lives, and a lot of the stuff, that happened to bring you some of the greatest artists in hip hop. We were very much responsible for making that happen.
You talk about power brokers.
Yeah.
And you being behind the scenes. How did you kind of transition from being the artist to being one of those power brokers in music?
Yeah, I've been a power broker since the beginning. My love for music just came from being, just being in it. I started doing music back in 89. We used to skip school and go rehearse over the homie Malik house. I was in a group called the MC Def Crew. See, I never even brought that up to nobody. I was in this group called the MC Def Crew. I was the producer, so I had a little Casio keyboard. We made, we did a few little performances locally throughout Detroit at the parks and shit. And then, then I started my own group. I started doing my own solo thing and wanted to become an artist instead of a producer, because I was able to make the music. And me and my homeboy Mark D started this group called GBK. We got one album off before we both went to the penitentiary. And he had to go for 15 to 40. I had to go for 1 to 20. And it was like, who gonna get out first? But before we went, we had our differences, but whatever, the kid shit. And then when I came home, when I walked in the quarantine in Jackson State, Michigan Department of Corrections, Jackson Penitentiary, I said to myself, I heard this song, "Slipping in the Darkness," playing in my head. And man, where did it go? I don't see where it went. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I had a song "Slipping in the Darkness" playing in my head, and I told myself, I'm never coming back in this motherfucker again.
Word.
Never. And so I decided, okay, I need to get serious about my music, and going and so I could stay the fuck out of here. Yeah. And I wrote a couple of songs. I wrote that whole album in the joint, and I wrote a song called "Booty Bounce." Shake that, make that booty bounce. Before I went to prison, I had the privilege of going to this event in Atlanta, Georgia, called the Freaknik. I don't know if you brothers are familiar.
Yeah,
We were babies, but we didn't feel
we heard about it. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness, you missed the time. And you see this for the first time. It's my first time outside of Detroit, other than with my parents traveling to Alabama or whatever. And I'm in Atlanta and I see all this just world-class freakery going on, and all this ass shaking is going to the tune of a high tempo, 69 Boys, 2 Live Crew, 95 South, and all the records that was up tempo. So I was like, it's at this point, if I want to get in, I got to get in where I fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote the song, and when I came home, I went to Halfway House and recorded it, and the bitch blew up. Hey, focus and determination is everything. Because the song blew the fuck up. And I really swear to God, I haven't looked back since when it comes to music. We went from recording in the $7 hour studio to, later on down in life recording in $100, $150 hour studios and recording with some of music's, not just hip hop, music's greatest artists, from, Kid Rock to Eminem to Dr. Dre to, like I say, it's Ice Cube, some of the greatest artists ever, just focus. And over time you meet people here and there, you keep going and you're going to run into the same people again. And eventually they're going to think they know you, or you're going to think you know them. Or y'all develop some type of relationship. You see a motherfucker 3 times, going to be like, okay, give me your number.
Word.
And then if it's something that person needs from you when they come to your district, and you could deliver, you deliver. And vice versa. And so you build relationships, and then you keep those. But I've always been the type of person to keep my relationships. I cherish my relationships. It's value in my Rolodex. My Rolodex is worth $6-7 billion. Shit, I'm trying to get Jeff Bezos on that motherfucker, so it can be worth 100 and some billion. But you keep these relationships solid with people. I'm a solid motherfucker, so it ain't hard to be 1,000. It ain't hard to be a good nigga. And it ain't hard to connect the dots. If this person need this and that person, got it, you make that happen, and have a little bit of compassion and consideration in your dealing, and eventually you can double back to that person and put a play together with that person that'll be worth millions for both of y'all. So.
Yeah. Can you talk about being one of the Detroit hip hop pioneers and the evolution of the music or the hip hop scene of Detroit? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was. I mean, I accept that. God bless you, brother, for the pioneer comment. But there were it was guys before me and people. Awesome Dre and the Hardcore Committee, Merciless Amir, AWOL, Detroit's Most Wanted, and we came out at the same time. Detroit's Most Wanted and these other guys, but like Awesome Dre was before us. He was the first guy that I seen from Detroit on a video, and he was the guy that made me say, "Oh shit, we can do this too." Like, you know what I mean? Because you see rap, you hear, New York, and then Cali came in and it was all about kill, murder, death, shoot. And it was like, oh shit, so you got this over here and this over here, and you see a Detroit guy like Awesome Dre come on the TV and his video on and find out he's touring with Public Enemy, and it's like, oh wow, and then from the GBK days, like, I was in the penitentiary watching my videos on TV. Which wasn't cool. Right. So the from then to now, I would say we've done exceptionally well keeping a grid on the differences that different artists have between one another. So Detroit, can hold the type of or hold some type of title that relates to artists not being into it with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear these artists beefing with this artist and they be from the same town type shit. Like, we got that, but we did a good job of trying to keep that, perhaps, and maintain a great deal of unity and pride in, not just being in hip hop from Detroit, but being from Detroit, being a Detroiter holds a great deal of a level of responsibility and respect, So as it relates to hip hop, then we went through the shit, trying to get radio and DJs to, submit to what we was doing, and a lot of them was busy sucking dick, everybody else out of town, and the radio was the same way. It was like you had to pay these motherfuckers to get your record played,
right?
And if you didn't, you know what I'm saying, you had to work your way through the back cracks, and luckily we found out that shit, you worked this bitch in the street first. Fuck the radio. Worked this motherfucker in the hood clubs. Worked this, we was dropping my first record, Booty Bounce. We dropped that motherfucker straight to the Titty Bar, to the Black Orchid on Livernois, into the Brass Key. Take it down there. You get the girls dancing off of it, everybody else gonna fall in love with it,
Yeah.
So, we worked the streets, and a lot of artists, a lot of crews came up and worked the streets, and then, got that one or two shots at being on the radio, where they were being recognized on a larger scale, and that radio actually made it worse, because once you get to that part, it's like locally people's trying to figure out, where do we go from here? We own JOB, but they ain't shit. We own 107 or whatever that other station is, but they ain't shit. So when we talking about everywhere else, we want to be on Hot 97. We want to be on the V103. We want to be on, all these other places all over, and then you had to get involved in the industry. So we in Detroit hip hop, we got overlooked. It was getting bad. So I eventually created a movement that would turn all that around and get the focus based on the talent that was in the face of the people. I thought it was extremely unfair that an artist would have to pay to be on the show, and in tow he has 70, 80 cats from his hood coming with him, and they paying, and so they benefiting this show, but they paying to be on it. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, I don't like that. They was having the summer jams. The summer jams everywhere else was all about the artists from that location. Here, it was about everybody else, and the Detroit artists they were trying to make pay. And I was like, you know what? Okay, fuck that. Fuck that. I don't give. I knew that it would cost me to sacrifice a lot. Because you make that blacklist a motherfucker, but I aimed for it. I didn't get put on a blacklist and say, damn. I was like, I'm headed to the blacklist. Fuck it. Who going with me? And luckily the Goon Squad came with me.
Yeah.
Talk about the city of Detroit, man. You brought it up. You brought up the rap scene. You brought up the culture, how it was overlooked. And I'm just like, you wear it in your heart. Yeah. Never been to Detroit before. So give us a little bit of what Detroit means to you and just the city of Detroit in general.
It's what I know. I grew up in this motherfucker, born here. I grew up in it. It's what I know. It's you love what you know. You got your memories, and your surroundings have a great deal to do with how you turn out. And my ability to hustle, my ability to speak, my ability to make things happen, my ability to communicate, my abilities come from my surroundings, and my surroundings is Detroit. I picked up, Trick is a combination of a few different people, because all those people were from here. They're people I came up around. Click, rest in peace. My OG from, his first record label I've been on was Click Boom Records. He died in like 99. Like Click was the guy I patterned myself after, outside of my father. So I got my father, I have my uncles. You're taking a little bit from each one of them and the things you like, and so you adapt to the characteristics of that individual and adopt the characteristics of that individual, and ultimately creating, the person you are. And this is Detroit. You know, the pride of Detroit is pride of a survivor. The pride of Detroit is the spirit of Detroit is the strength of a overcomer. You know, one that don't mind holding the weight of the world in the palm of our hands. Even if we don't feel like we can, we're gonna give it a shot. You know, we're gonna come out victorious by any means necessary. You know, that's the spirit of Detroit. We have to win. And very cool. You know, Detroit motherfuckers cool. You know, we got our monsters, we got our villains, we got our fucked up politicians, we got our bitch ass police. We got good ones, you know. We got fuck niggas, rats, pussy ass niggas, bitch niggas, hoe bitches, funky dog head bitches. We got it all. But the realness dominates the identity of Detroit.
Wow.
That's the key.
To kind of go back to the rap scene a little bit, I'm interested to know how you guys were you taken seriously, like in New York, and how you perceive on the West Coast, such as Cali, like, and when Detroit really started coming on in hip hop. Did you guys ever get any like hate or not taken seriously from any other coast?
Musically, no. Relationship wise, no. I think everybody fuck with us. You know what I mean? Because money getting motherfuckers, we don't mind spending it either. You know, when there was, you know, we had, you know, we was buying verses from people just on the strength of like us liking them. You know, it's just like everybody fuck with everybody. You got to come to Detroit. Detroit been on the top list of places to go perform since Motown left. When you know the Motown artists that were doing all the shows here, the Grand Quarters, the Latin Quarters, and all the other places that they were performing off the boulevard, eventually branched out to other places. But you know, nobody never forget where them came from. Them boys from Detroit, them Temptations from Detroit, and Fort Tops, the Contours, down in Ross, the Supreme, Smokey, Marvin, like them Detroit. Boosie, you know, well, they was in Ohio, but you know, George, Detroit, you know, Michael's in Indiana, but shit, that's like we can get there like this. We can get there like this, you know. So everybody fuck with us. We never really had no hate. The hate came from inside. The hate came from the motherfuckers here. It was our own fucking people that hated on us. It's always that though. These motherfucking devil teach niggas how to hate, teach them how to do crime, teach them how to do all type of fucked up shit. Don't teach them how to get away with it. Don't teach them how to forgive your own. You'll forgive a motherfucking police knocking your motherfucking head off before and smile at his ass in the courtroom before you forgive a nigga that'll step on your goddamn shoe by mistake. Or a nigga that'll fuck your bitch without knowing that's your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the way it is. So all our hatred came from, you know, from inside. We never really had no out of town issues like that.
You know, speaking on that, I want to get your thoughts and your opinions on the recent rash of violence. And we've seen violence throughout hip hop throughout time, unfortunately, but it seems as though as of late, because I guess we got the phones and we see a lot of these beefs and spats get brought out over social media, we've seen a lot more violence in hip hop. What do you think about it? And how do you feel?
Shit. The only reason, like you say, the only reason that shit is look like a big deal now is because it's being covered more. It was worse. It used to be worse. It's gotten better because so many of these motherfuckers are soft, which is a good thing. You know, a lot of these people portraying to be these bad motherfuckers, they're just putting on an image. They're just putting on a show. So, you know, but as with respect to the violence in hip hop overall, you know, it's not violence in hip hop. It's violence with niggas. Ain't got nothing to fuck to do with hip hop. It's niggas. Nigga shit. You can't put hip hop in that. It got nothing to do with this stupid motherfucker go and do something to offend or do something wrong enough to this person where you got to deal with that person in that fashion. Right. That's just what it is. That's nigga shit. That ain't no motherfucking hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop didn't cause these two niggas to be into it with each other, you know. And you know, in some of the cases when some of these people meet their demise, I feel personally they got what the fuck they had coming to them. Some of them. It is what it is. We gotta quit sugarcoating and acting like this shit is one thing and it's another. You know, it's that Santa Claus effect, I call it. You know, we want to make it seem like it's this when it's no, it's that. You can look at it, you can see it. It's them. It's him and it's him. It's not all of us. You know, all of us are hip hop. You're hip hop. You guys are hip hop. I'm hip hop. Dre, every fucking body that's involved in the culture of hip hop is hip hop. We ain't got nothing to do with any of these motherfuckers that get themselves killed or get killed, whether it be senseless. Some violence is necessary. It's unfortunate, but some of it is necessary because the only way you could keep a motherfucker from continuously going in the wrong direction at you is take him out of his comfort zone. If he's quarreling with you and you not choosing to take this route, he got everything he got coming to him. Ain't nobody fault but his. So yeah, I don't think nothing of it. I don't think nothing of it. I don't. It's like, because see, I grew up on 7 Mile. I got a list of dead homies, and not just from violence. You know, we don't talk about the violence in hip hop. Let's talk about the ignorance in hip hop. You know, let's talk about we rapped about selling drugs. That's the dumbest shit in the world, bro. Is to tell on the record that you fucking selling drugs. Now, granted, if you used to, and you reserve the right to speak on that, and the statutes and limitations allow you to speak on that, I get it. But look at it now. You know, these motherfuckers can't wait to be famous off of who gonna be the most ignorant motherfucker. And we put that inside. That ain't the culture. That ain't hip hop. That's social media. That's something. Social media ain't hip hop. Social media is something completely fucking different. You know what I mean? We have to start holding individuals responsible for their shit and quit putting them in, you know, in the pot with every damn body else, man. Shit. Some people get what, like I say, man, some people get what they got fucking coming to them. Shit.
Or can you speak on the no-fly zone in Detroit years back that, you know, you and a few other people had to put in place because of some people in hip hop that were, I guess, being disrespectful, not paying the proper homage to Detroit?
No, it wasn't never homage my ass. No, it was, listen, I'm gonna lock this bitch down and y'all gonna pay attention to each other. And dear record label, you do not bring your artists to my motherfucking city if you're not here picking up no fucking artists. What the fuck do you want? You just gonna keep coming to this motherfucker, bleeding this bitch dry and ain't gonna help nobody? Get the fuck out. If you think I'm playing, send him. Send him. And I'm gonna send him back to you. And then you can discuss with his publisher how to revive his motherfucking gangsta ass career. God damn it. I said, wait, if y'all want to think I'm playing, okay, then try me. That's, you know, that's it in a nutshell, until we start getting some respect around this motherfucker amongst one another, from these promoters, from these radio stations, from these fucking DJs. If you ain't got no out of town dick to suck, you gotta suck a local dick, you cocksucker.
So
now, there go a bunch of artists around this motherfucker you can pay attention to, play their music, and get them to show up at a radio station. Because you bring another one in here from somewhere else, I'm gonna tear his ass up. Or I'm gonna have somebody tear his ass up, one way or another. That was no fly zone. Until I saw a change and people started to get the respect they deserve. The artists started to get the respect they deserve. It wasn't about me. I knew I was, like I say, sacrificing mines when I went in. I know it's like, we could fuck him, and fuck you too. You ain't playing my record anyway. So why the fuck I gotta walk on thin ice for you? Fuck the radio. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't wait to get to a point in my career, in my life, where I could say that and mean it and look them in their face and tell them, fuck, even to DJs, some of these DJs, fuck you, pussy. Last time the fucking DJs hit my album, my Smoke Gang album, they said we want to meet with you and have the DJ mixer meeting, bring chicken, all that old fuck shit. I said, no, I don't need y'all to do nothing. If you like it, play it. If not, go fuck yourself. I don't care. I didn't make this album for you. I made this motherfucker for me because I said I wanted to make a Smoke Gang album and drop that bitch on 420. And I wanted to put Snoop, Wiz, Be Real, DJ Premier, and all my other smoke partners on one album, and let's just do a smoke album and release it on 420. I set a goal ahead and I pursued the goal. When it was time for all that old industry shit, meet with the DJ and go to the radio, hey man, fuck all that shit. I ain't do that for that. I don't do this for them no more. You know, these motherfuckers will get caught up into your career, get you caught up into their agenda, and get you caught up where now you recording music for them. You're not an artist. Now you're a slave because you work for the system. An artist do what the fuck he want to do, how the fuck he want to do it, when the fuck he want to do it. We don't have a fucking set date to release a goddamn album because they say so. I release the album when the fuck I want. I got my own studio. You know what I mean? And I share my music with those who choose to share it with me, who want to enjoy it with me. I'm not here to entertain a motherfucker that don't like it. Fuck him. He don't like it already. He's over there. It's for those who want it. You know, so if I was cool with saying, okay, fuck the radio, fuck the promoters, fuck, I'm at a peaceful place in my career as a musician where my streams, my TuneCore and iTunes distribution works out perfect for me because I have other businesses as well. And that's a continuous revenue stream, you know, because if I don't give a fuck if it's not top nothing. It ain't got to be top 100, top 200. It ain't got to be on damn motherfucker chart. Somewhere in this world, somebody is streaming Trick right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in the same voice, I say, somewhere in Michigan or in Ohio, somebody is buying Trick's weed right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we're going to create different avenues than to be trying to sit and depend on this record shit because they get your ass in them industry hooks. And if they reel you in, you somebody's bitch. Right. You know what I mean? They're going after the dignity and the manhood of a man when they try to reel you in. They want to pull you in the circle, you know, and the circle is full of a bunch of bitch niggas. You know what I mean? It's not no bunch of motherfuckers worshiping no star on the floor, playing those satanic rituals and all that stupid ass shit. That shit don't exist when it comes to these niggas. These motherfuckers is pussy niggas that hang together. You want to get to a certain level, you got to go with the pussy niggas or do it yourself on your own terms and rock it how you want to rock it. Just respect time and respect, you know, the reality of time. And, you know, you ain't finna make it happen overnight. It's going to take from you to go to here to there. Yeah. So cool. I'll be on the blacklist. And still they stop me. I'm 48 motherfucking year old granddaddy, dog. I'm still doing interviews and TV shows and movies and albums.
So was Rick Ross guilty of that? Not showing love to Detroit?
Huh?
Was Rick Ross, was he guilty of not showing love to Detroit?
No. He loved Detroit. Me and nephew had a little other issue that had something to do with some other people. And you know what I'm saying? It was just like that. You know what I mean? That was between, you know what I'm saying, me, cuz, and that other person. You know what I mean? And then we couldn't get an understanding. You know, it was like, hey, yo, my nigga, we can't clear this up. You can't do this. You can't be here. If we can't clear this up, I'm just trying to clear this up, my nigga. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want yours. I've been here my own. I ain't make it to fucking be me with nothing. You can't be that way. And you know what I'm saying? And arrogance is the devil. Yeah. You know, and it's a sign of weakness. You know, it's a difference between being independently in tune. You know, it's okay to love yourself. You know, so it's okay to put yourself in a high place, but arrogance is bad on many levels. And, you know, especially to somebody that's trying to get a small understanding. If you don't want to get an understanding, then you can't come here. Now, I could have said, get him. 100 motherfuckers. I could have said, get him. I could have said, get them all. Beat everybody ass. It wouldn't have been the first fucking time. And it wasn't the last after that. You know, I didn't, but that's not what I wanted for bro. That's not what I wanted for no brother. Be honest with you. I would rather have a one-on-one powwow communication, just a line of communication, because the mother of all fuck ups is misinformation and miscommunication. You know, we could create an understanding in 2 minutes. The sound of my voice and the sound of your voice, the sound of two men trying to understand one another creates a vibration that the universe won't deny.
That's right.
A science. And we open up this line and talk. We gonna know, because most wars that start between people go from the mind of one of the people. You thinking what this motherfucker gonna do. You know, it's a war, right? Like it's a war, like a war right now. Let's just say somebody Korea start arming their motherfucking missiles. Or they just start arming them, they ain't got to point in this way. Somebody gonna tell America, hey man, the niggas just turned their missiles on. You know what the first thing America gonna say? They probably trying to.
Yeah.
They probably finna. They start thinking, oh, them niggas finna try to. I think what you think? What is they doing? I don't know. What do we think? They get ready. Arm our shit. Point them over there.
Yeah.
Then Korea like, hey man, what they pointing this shit over? Hey man, point them motherfuckers over there. You know what I'm saying? That's misinformation when two people could get on the phone and say, hey, what the fuck is y'all doing? Oh, no, we was just checking. We trying to make sure the damn thing worked. Oh, shit. Okay, cut them off. All right, my man. Talk to you in a minute. I know that don't go like that, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Appreciate that.
You can't force a motherfucker to talk. You can't force a motherfucker to do nothing he don't want to do, but when the motherfucker on your goddamn land, you're going to do right by me on mine.
That brings me to asking you about that this vicious murder of a 6-year-old boy out in Warren in October. You put a $6,000 reward out for any information in regards to that situation. And there's a lot of people talking about it. Can you kind of take us back to that and give us this play-by-play on what happened with that?
It wouldn't be the first time. I put up money all the time to help find these assailants that commit crimes against children. You commit crime against children, a child, you're an enemy of mine. You're a public enemy of mine. I don't mind putting up some hard-earned money of my own or raising some money within my organization to make sure we could do this the proper way. Because I don't have nothing to do with your war, but neither did that baby.
Word.
I don't got nothing to do with your quarrel that caused you to do that, but neither did that baby. So if you want to cross an unfair line, I'm going to cross one too. Now, I got a little bit of flack. I got a little bit of flack from that situation. I won't call it flack because it don't move me at all. A nigga talking to a fucking phone is just talking to his phone in his hand. You're not talking to me, motherfucker. Hold on, this goddamn publicist. Goddamn. A nigga talking on the phone is just talking to his phone. He ain't talking to me. So, you know, some people felt a certain kind of way about it, and that's fine. You entitled to your goddamn opinion. The government gave me 6 fucking feet. You don't cross that fucking 6 feet. I ain't got no quarrel with your feelings, buddy. That's on you. But how I do things in my community, in my neighborhood, when I say I deem it necessary, no motherfucking body reserve the right to speak on it. If you ain't in my community, on the soil, trying to defend the same babies I'm trying to defend, or just shut the fuck up, you know. So, you know, we put up money a gang of times to get information, and we make sure who need the information get the information. You killing babies, bitch. You need to be put down. Personally,
yeah,
that's my own personal opinion, but life ain't about my personal opinion. I can't operate on my personal opinion, because if I had my way, I'll wipe out half this motherfucking earth. So since I can't have my way with a whole lot of things, and I'm very understanding to that, I'm gonna deal with this way, and this was gonna be effective for me. And when I'm done, yeah, we got that done. But in the case of that 6-year-old boy, as far as the update, shout out to the Warren Police Department because they didn't need no information from nobody. They actually did a 21 detective or more, I heard, 21 detectives plus working with the DPD, the Intel network, and found who they was looking for and built their case so motherfucking cold that they was able to discuss it on TV. How they found this motherfucker.
Wow.
Hey, listen.
That's good.
You ain't getting away with shit no more. It's cameras everywhere, dog. So when you go off of this camera, go on their camera down there.
Yep.
And everybody that's got a camera on their house or on their front door till you get home, motherfucker. And the police can tap into every. You don't think these motherfuckers they need your damn permission to get no facial recognition of you? When you walked your ass in the Secretary of State or DMV and took your ID picture, you officially became facially recognized. So fucking ID is for. That's why your ID got a fucking barcode on the back of it, goddammit, and a strip of metal in it. You've been on the facial recognition, so stop.
Right. Can you
talk about shit like that they go, you be killing no motherfucking babies, bitch?
Yeah, it's a fact. True that.
That's a hoe ass nigga. And any nigga that condone that shit is a hoe ass nigga. You don't turn no motherfucking weapon on no child. I understand sometimes these bitches get sideways out the mouth. They ain't got nothing to fuck to do with me. None of your fucking business. But don't turn your fucking weapon on no child, man. You's a hoe if you do that, dog.
Can you talk about Proof? And I think I heard you telling a story about Proof introduced you to Eminem.
Yeah, Proof was in Proof was in the Goon Squad. Man, I ain't got my album cover here. My first album cover is From Death. You look up my first album cover, From Death, you'll see Proof on the cover with us. He had dreads. It's called Trick From Death, DEATH. And that's the record I recorded with Booty Bounce on it. Like, Proof was in the studio with me when I was recording that From Death album. Proof taught me a lot about hip hop. Shit I wasn't concerned with at first. I'm a street nigga. So I was in the street. I was doing what I had to do to get mine, and that's an everyday thing. And Proof was that guy that I met at the studio at Mo Master Studios that like I say, you run into a motherfucker 3 times and it's like, give me your number. And at the time, his name was Maximum. Maximum or Maximus. Maximum. And it was before he grew his dreads. I'm like, this young motherfucker, he always knew something. Like every week I would see him in passing, or every time I see him in passing, he always taught me something. And to the point to where, it was like, we got each other's number. If I'm on my way to the studio and he's en route, I'm gonna pick him up. And he the first person taught me about doing hooks. He taught me how to perform. Real shit. I got one of the livest stage shows you'll ever see. And the elements that Proof gave me and the things that he taught me when we were younger is how I got on the path of being an amazing performer and being able to record music different than anything else. Because Proof was hell bent on, like, if you made a record and it sound like something else, he'd tell you that sound like that shit. That sound like that. So Proof was hell. He really say, do the shit how you do it. Proof was the person that taught me, and he would do it in such a nonchalant way. Like, if you're trying to figure out, let's just say I'm trying to figure in the studio, trying to make a song, basically to keep up with the DJ. Proof would be the person to say, what the fuck do he care? Or he got to take what you give him. And he'll say, like, did Michael Jackson consult with a DJ? Did Prince talk to the fucking DJ?
Word.
Did fucking Barry Gordy, or no, he'd say, put somebody up there.
Right.
He'd be like, fuck them. Dude, what did you want to do? You know what I'm saying? That meant a lot. I had a problem with that shit for a while. the first record I blew up on was Booty Bounce. And the radio grabbed that record and took me to another level. And I'm like, shit, I gotta follow suit. But like Barry Gordy say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. My original formula was to go in the studio and have fun.
Right.
Not go in the record studio and make a record for a DJ. Fuck him. Or go in the record studio and make a record for a fan. No, it's not about the fucking fan. It's about you as the artist. The fan is going to be in love with the artist and love what the artist produces, what the artist creates. As an artist, you got to create from your soul, not create from an industry designed for niggas not to make no fucking money. We made this shit. We have very little control in it. We created a whole fucking culture. And just in front of our fucking face, they took it right off from under us with money. Man. And then made us turn on each other from one side to another and dwindle our culture down to aluminum ball. And now we round this motherfucker playing pick 'em up, fuck 'em up with it.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
Talk about your influence in Detroit music. How influential are you in any artist that came out of Detroit or comes out of Detroit now in their career?
I don't know. I do know, every now and then I get an artist that'll tell me that I've influenced them, and it's an honor when I hear that, because I'm not, like I said, I ain't trying to keep up my art. I do it because I love it. But when you meet a young artist, and it's 20 years between y'all, and he tell you, "Hey, Uncle Trick, Price is Right is my favorite record," or "Stay on Fire, that's my shit," or "Smoke weed every day," and it's like, damn, you know what I mean? Or you meet a 17-year-old, or no, I was in Miami, and I was at the pool at the Lowe's. No, it was at the that one on the corner, the Frank Sinatra's joint, the Fountain Blue.
Okay,
yeah.
And I was at the pool, me and my wife and some of my friends, and these two 14-year-old boys walked up and said, "Excuse me, are you Trick Trick?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And they said, "Oh my fucking God." And he said, "Oh man, can I have a picture?" And I was like, "Hell yeah," we took a picture, and they started reciting the lyrics from one of my more recent songs, and I was like, damn. Like that moment right there made every moment I spent in here worth it. Every dollar I spend paying the bills in this motherfucker, it made it worth it. That moment right there, them two young 14-year-old men, like I said, bro, I'm 48. Them two 14-year-old young men right there, got 34 fucking years in between us. And they said, "Are you Trick Trick? Oh my fucking God," and start reciting my music. It's like, damn. So, I mean, that is the motivation that drives me, me being myself. I'm sure it motivates a lot of people, but as far as it influence anybody's music, Ant Beats, the producer, Ant Beats, is my nephew. And he tell me all the time, "Yeah, Unc, I pattern what I do after how you did it." So I'm more, as far as the music scene is concerned, it's a beautiful thing because you hear it when you ride around, you hear all Detroit. Detroit is coming out of the speakers of 80% of the cars that I ride past in the hood. You know what I mean? From east side to west side, And they funny acting in their own way because, the west side niggas, you don't really hear them playing too much east side nigga music and the vice versa. But, every now and then, you'll be on the west side, you'll hear nigga bumping Vezo. You like, yeah, nigga, that's right. Come on. Detroit play all that shit. I'm sure they're all motivated by unks. Unc gonna push that line because I'm gonna push the line till it's over with. And I'm gonna do it. It's bigger than me. I'm good, bro. I don't want to perform on the Summer Jam and none of that shit no more. Don't fucking call me for that shit for the most part. I'm saying, or even I don't care about what no DJ thing. I'm gonna push the line for them because I want to see them get their fair shot. I want to see them youngsters get what they, man. I want to see them great. Like, I love to see these young niggas with money. I be trying to tell them, hey, man, get that shit off the camera, dog. You know, hey, nigga, go buy these houses. Go buy this. You got a whole, out here property cheap. You can 35, 45,000, bro. You can go and get you a crib. Go buy all of them, nigga. Mm-hmm. When you start feeling the feeling of owning real estate, nigga, that's an addiction you would love to have. Like, especially since you like money. The hustle is what drives us to be hustlers, is the spirit of the hustle itself.
Yeah.
You know, we all share that shit in Detroit. It's a common language we speak. No age difference between our hustle, you know. Right. Old niggas get money with young niggas get money with old niggas, you know, and all the way down the line. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, they are my influence. You know what I mean? I'm influenced by them. Yeah.
What do you think about your thoughts on Big Sean, man, and his success?
Coming up, he earned it. Little nigga came out of Gas Tech. You know what I mean? That's a good school downtown. It's the one they spent all the money in. You know what I mean? Shit, and you become, you know, a successful entertainer. Shit, I applaud that. I applaud it wholeheartedly. He deserved it. He earned it. He sat in the studio, wrote every motherfucking rap, and recorded it and did what he needed to do to get where he at. Shit, he earned that shit, man. That's his voice on them records. Mm-hmm. And he really grew up here. He did. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna respect it just off the boat, you know. Shit, that's nephew. All these niggas is nephew to me. T Grizzly to Big Sean to Sada Baby, they all my nephews, you know what I mean? And they all earn they keep. They all earn their spot, you know. I wish they wouldn't quarrel with one another over whatever differences they got, but you know, I'm not involved internally like that, so I stay in my motherfucking place, the fuck out the way. But you know, as a leader and as a motivator, and not just, you know, as a community leader, you know, and as a motivator of my people, you know, I have to be more concerned with maintaining my steps to be of example. You know, you lead by example. You know, you don't necessarily got to tell people what the fuck to do. They watching you already. Show them what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? And build a blueprint and a platform for somebody to come behind you and teach motherfuckers, you know, by your actions. Teach motherfuckers what you know. You know, knowledge is acquired over experience. And when you experience something, you go in and come out. When you say you're going through it, you're going through it. Yeah, you're going in it and you're coming out of it. When you come out on the other end, you got a whole fucking documented experience of how the fuck to make it out. So you share that shit, so when somebody else get to that motherfucking hole in the wall or that burning building, and you say, hey, don't go your ass in there. That motherfucker finna blow up. If they walk their ass in there anyway, that's on them. You did what you know what I'm saying? You share information. If people be stingy, man, with information. Like, I ain't gonna give you the trick blueprint, my blueprint of how I build what I built, but if you following me, you'll see it any fucking way. You know, so I built my empire my own way. I can't say what another motherfucker got going on in their eyes and through their eyes and what they journey produced for them. You learn a whole nother set of shit than I learned, buddy. But if we go through some shit that's similar, I could tell you about this and maybe you could tell me about that. You know, you lead, like I say, you lead by example, and you know, those who choose to take note and use that knowledge wholeheartedly, you know, may they be blessed. Shit, all of them.
Word. You said some years back the game is filled with evil people and fuck shit. I kind of correlate that to 2021. We were having conversations about the whole Meek Mill 6ix9ine thing and the phones out and all this extra rah-rah shit. And it kind of gets me to what it seems to be, and we talked about it on our show, the hypocrisy in hip hop when it comes to certain people who are snitches, certain people who are rats, and certain people who aren't. No, we're not street dudes, we're fathers. We're not in that game anymore, but we know if we do some dirt with some motherfucker, you don't say a motherfucking word. That's what we were taught. That's what we know. That's what we live by. But it seems like now in society, it's almost weaponized, that word and how it's used, seeing a bunch of hypocrisy involved in it. What do you think about that? The culture in itself, where it stands in 2021, and am I right to say there's hypocrisy in hip hop when it comes to snitch culture?
You know what I say, nephew? I say it's a new world. Get the fuck out the way. It's a, you know, I've been taught that people I've learned over time that people gonna do what the fuck they gonna do no matter what.
Yeah.
Let me cut this goddamn phone on airplane. People gonna do what the fuck they want to do no matter what, bro. You cannot stop people from being who they are, whether it be a bitch, nigga, or a real nigga. Like, it's just, they are who they are. You know, you got punks, you got straights, you got whites, you got blacks, you got fat, you got skinny, you got dumb, you got intelligent, you got an opposite to every fucking thing. So that shit is gonna exist because it's the opposite of what some of us are. Everything is gonna have an opposite. Everything. You can't change it. Only thing you could change, anything you won't change, should only be about changing yourself. If you want to change the world, you got to change yourself, because changing yourself changes the world, changes the world as you know it, changes the world as you see it, because you, over time, you learn, you absorb, you take these things and you learn, you say, okay, now I need to apply this to this. I need to apply this to this. I need to apply this to this. I need to understand 100% that I'm the only person that know what goes on in my eyes, and knew when I absorbed the message that you don't do that. No, you don't. That's tattletelling. You don't do that. And you get killed for that. Well, guess what? That's Trick picked that up. I hold that in my heart. I hold that to my code. I'm the one that sit here because I'm not finna tell them. You dig? Somebody else, I don't know about this motherfucker. And guess what? That motherfucker ain't got nothing to do with me or those that are influenced by me. Because if you're influenced by me in my leadership, you would do as I do. And you will think as I think. You will believe as I believe. You will move how I move. And if you fucking with me, we going this way, we going this way. It don't make no sense for none of us to say what them suckers doing over there. For what? They doing what suckers do. That's what suckers do. You gotta let suckers do what suckers do, and hey, fuck them motherfuckers. I don't know none of them. None of them. I don't give a fuck about none of them either. If you fucking with Trick, I'm going this way. I don't look behind me. Behind me gone already. Behind me don't mean shit. I look in the rearview mirror for that. You dig what I'm saying? If that's what we're talking about. But we're talking about forward march. Like, this is a life, bro. This life is not promised to no fucking body. Like, what I'm not living, I'm finna not living no more of my days under the regime of the concerns of other people. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. Fuck them niggas. Fuck that little nigga, that other little, the clown nigga. Hey, man, nothing about this nigga does nothing for or against me or what goes on within my companies, within my businesses, within my nothing, my spirituality, my finances, my family, nothing. This motherfucker is gum under the fucking shoe you're never gonna wear again. You throwing that shoe away. I get around to it. I'm gonna throw it away. I don't care. Like, and everything else should be. And I'm gonna tell you something. this not a direct attack on the nigga, because I don't know him. This is a direct attack on any nigga that's doing anything that I don't fuck with. I don't give a fuck about you. We ain't got to give our motherfucking precious time that we can't get back to no sucker shit. You did. No sucker shit. So, you know, if that's what some niggas is doing in hip hop, if that's what some niggas is doing in their life, because we not finna put that shit on hip hop either. We got to stop putting that shit on hip hop. No, I said this, not hip hop, but this business, the music business overall is filled with wicked, evil, rotten, dirty, thieving, satanic, immoral motherfuckers. And they hide under under likes and views and their quotes. They hide behind their movements, their protests, and they goddamn organizations that they want to be a part of. They hide behind these motherfuckers is the worst people you ever seen in your goddamn life. That's why, hey, stay the fuck away from them. All them bitch ass niggas, cuz independence is the best thing in the world that can happen to a motherfucker like me, cuz I don't fit in, cuz I don't fit in, cuz I don't want to fit in though. Michael Jackson didn't fit in.
Nope.
If you did anything similar to what Mike did, you was biting. Like hip hop, if you did anything similar to what Kool Moe Dee did, or LL did, or Run DMC, or Houdini, or the Fat Boys, or MC Light, or Salt and Pepper, or Queen Latifah, or KRS-One, or Ice-T, them niggas was all Naughty by Nature, Vinny, Tretch, nigga, Grandmaster Caz, DJ Premier, DJ Scratch, Funkmaster Flex, motherfucker, these individual, Dre, Ran, Easy, Cube.
Yes, sir.
Individuals, one. If you made a rap, you sound like Cube, you was biting, you was called a sucker MC.
Remember that.
So I can't be concerned with a business now where everybody copying off each other. It's filled with sucker MCs, right?
Ain't that the truth?
Bro, I'm not lying, bro. If you turn the radio on, tell me one nigga from another nigga.
Nah, you can't.
Damn.
So back when the culture of hip hop was invented, that ain't hip hop, nigga. That's rap. That's just a element, one of the elements, and it's the direction they chose to take it, wherever, however they want to do it. That ain't originality. Makes kings and queens. Originality builds identification. You only motherfucker like you on this goddamn earth. You named you look like you. That's why you got the only fucking set of fingerprints like yours. You already an individual, one of a kind, an amazing, unique creature. You the only one of you on this fucking earth. That ought to tell you something. It's just you. And then it's everybody else. That's it. Like, that's one. You got to be in line with yourself so that all that other shit don't exist. It becomes a non-factor, and that way you just stay on the shit. Because I hate to go this way with it, but I'm gonna tell you, the one thing these motherfuckers try to keep you from doing is thinking for yourself. That's why they cloud you and crowd you with so much shit. Social media is a stream and streams and streams of people's shit and their feelings and their worries and their wants and they bragging and they whatever and they bodies and whatever the fuck. and then you just sit here and just go through this shit and just and it gets to you. It can get to you. You just sit here and allow this motherfucking device that's got a battery that you can't see get all the way up into your emotions. Activate your internal spiritual self and start turning your emotions from one direction to another. My nigga, that's wickedness.
Yeah.
My nigga, that's the devil on everything I love, on this cripping behind me, cuz nigga, that's evil. To keep you distracted, to keep you talking. Look at all the news media outlets and all of the this and all of the that, and everybody's fighting and scrambling for everybody else's attention. While there's something else going on somewhere else. I ain't here to be a conspiracy theorist, but I know when I'm being distracted.
Yep.
And I know how dangerous I am telling people to think for themselves too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You are not on top of religion. You know what I mean? COVID, the biggest fucking word in 2020. COVID, nigga. COVID overdid Donald Trump, nigga. He was the biggest, most talked about motherfucker in 2020 till COVID came and shut Trump down. So it was COVID #1, Trump #2. This is what the world is on the same page. Wait, what's going on somewhere else, bro? Maybe we need to pay attention to some other shit. But when you can stay within yourself and line your mind and your body and your spirit, keep your spirit safe away from that shit, dog. Cut that shit off sometime, man. Don't let that shit get to you. Sometimes you gotta unfollow. You gotta unfollow your fucking relatives, dog, because they a part of the fucking shit now, and they don't even know it.
Yep.
You your own fucking cousin. This motherfucker so wrapped up in the shit. He over this bitch whining and crying, acting like somebody smacked him on his ass and stuck their thumb in his asshole, and he just whining and you like, what the fuck is it? Now you all upset because this. And you're like, man, what the fuck am I even paying attention to this?
Like doing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why am I even engulfed in this shit? Toilet time need to consist of playing Candy Crush or Donkey Kong. Fuck this shit here. Let's see, my point is, you can have everything. Everything. You already a survivor. You survived so much shit already. Black people, Hebrew people, we the most forgiving motherfuckers to everybody else, dog. Don't forgive our goddamn self. Why is that? It seems like we've been programmed to be that way because we didn't used to be that way. We hate us more than we hate motherfucker that got his boot on our neck. Can't wait to kiss the devil in the motherfucking mouth so you could be friends with him. You can't wait to stunt on your brother, stunt on your sister, on these niggas. Everything a nigga do on these niggas. Pulling this money out on these niggas. I'm on these niggas. Like, damn, you targeting your own to overthrow. You know, that's because you don't have control of your own mind. When really and truly, like, if you really think about life as you know it, your best place is when you at peace. When you happy, when you're not sad, when you're not down, when you're not feeling jealous, when you're not feeling hate, when you're not feeling sorrow, when you're not being mad and upset, when you're happy, when you're enjoying your children or your woman or her man or your family or eating. I don't give a fuck. Whatever your happy place is, it's like that would seem like the place you would want to be fighting to stay in, right? How did our attention just get so engulfed in overthrowing one another? It's because they don't want you to think for yourself, because the minute you can start thinking for yourself, you become the most powerful version of a being ever created. It's automatically in your DNA. That's why they're trying to alter our fucking DNA. It's in your DNA. Why the fuck you think the sun give you power? Why you think the fucking sun give you vitamin C? It kills some other people.
Yeah.
Why you don't think a motherfucker wants you to find out who the fuck you is? And everybody who try to lead us into being down for one another and loving one another and peacing with one another and building with one another, they gun him down. They gun him down, and they've been hanging him what they said in slavery. They take the biggest buck, the biggest and the strongest nigga, and they humiliate him and set him on fire in front of every fucking body. Look at Jesus. That was a nigga. They did that to a nigga that was trying to tell people, hey, y'all, no, this way. I'm telling you, dog, it's this way. No, fuck what they talking about. Listen to me. This how we gonna get the bag. Is this? We got to get back to our kingdom. It's this way. That y'all better go get that nigga. He out there telling them people that shit again. If them niggas start thinking for themselves, we fucked. If them niggas start thinking together, we fucked. Look at what we do with nothing. Look at what we do with our own. With what we got our own. Well, each one of us individually. They don't want you to, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing I was talking about. That monster that I was talking about. This business is full of evil, wicked, dirty, rotten, some of the most slimiest people you ever known on this earth. Yeah.
Powerful.
They all work together and they use people like the boy with the hair.
Yeah.
Use the videos. And motherfuckers fighting, beefing with each other. Hey, nigga, I'm in your hood, nigga, all that old shit, talking to you on the phone. You talking to a whole phone, just upset as fuck at a phone. It's a phone. That's not the person
I got it fucked
you
up.
argue with. It's the phone.
Even in person, they arguing on the phone. It's crazy.
Phone.
Mm-hmm.
The mark of the beast. Anyway.
Hey, brother. Well, we definitely appreciate your
sir.
time, man. Man, this was incredible, bro. Definitely appreciate it, man. Give the people your social media handles where they could find you. Hip Hop Uncovered coming next Friday or this Friday at 9:00 on FX. You could check out the second episode on Hulu or FX app right now. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, brother. I'm sorry if I misquoted that, but definitely appreciate your time. Let the people know where they can find you.
At TrickTrickGS. That's Instagram. Yeah, and I'm only following you if you're motivational. That's it. And my booking shit is on there.
Indeed. We definitely appreciate your time, Trick. Appreciate the knowledge, appreciate the wisdom, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks, OJ. Appreciate you.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, fam.
All right, brother.
Take care.
Yeah.